external power on reset circuit, that is MCLR pin. To this MCLR pin, master clear pin, external resistor and capacitor we are using. As in 8051 also, we are using external resistor and capacitor. And actually, across this capacitor, the switch is connected, push button switch is connected. So manually, whenever you want to reset this microcontroller, you can press this switch. On any microcontroller board or kit, you'll find this reset circuit, because many times we need to reset a microcontroller. Even after downloading a program in microcontroller, to start execution of program from address 0000H, we have to press this reset switch. So it will start execution of instruction from the starting address location. So that's why this manual switch is generally connected across capacitor. This diode is used here to for the speedy discharge of this capacitor. So even if you won't show while explaining, so that circuit will also work. So here we are assuming that initially there is no charge across this capacitor. So whenever we connect this supply voltage, initially capacitor will act as a short circuit, and this 0 will be connected to MCLR pin. So microcontroller will reset. After some time, this capacitors will charge to full supply voltage, VDD. So this is connected to MCLR pin. So now MCLR bar pin will be at logic 1 because of charging of this capacitor. So since it is at logic 1, the peak microcontroller will perform its normal operation. So initially when you will switch on the supply, 0 is connected to reset terminal, which will reset the microcontroller. But after few microseconds, fraction of second, this capacitor will charge to full supply voltage, and logic 1 will be connected to this reset terminal. So it will perform its normal operation. Now manually, whenever you want to reset this microcontroller, you can press this switch. When you will press this switch, this capacitor end, this end, will be connected to ground through this switch. So again, microcontroller will reset. So this is push button switch. Once you have to just press this switch to connect a logic 0 to MCLR pin. After that, it will be reset. Switch will be pulled back and you'll get a logic 1. So this is the operation of this circuit. And so generally this is suggested. Connect the RC circuit. So some delay, fraction of second delay you'll get while resetting a microcontroller, but you can manually reset the microcontroller using this arrangement. So diode helps discharge the capacitor quickly. The discharging of capacitor will take place through this diode. Then resistor value is recommended. R is less than 40 kilo ohm. If R1 is 1 to 10 kilo ohm for the current limitation. So it is current limiting resistor. The next important circuit is brownout detection. So here, if supply voltage falls below certain level, then to protect this microcontroller, brownout reset circuit will send a reset signal to microcontroller, and microcontroller will be reset. So if supply voltage is lower than certain voltage, this voltage is also programmable. You can set the limit of this voltage, below which if supply voltage gets, then this brownout reset circuit will reset the microcontroller if supply voltage is less than certain limit. So internally, the simple comparator circuit is used there. Generally at inverting terminal, this VDD is connected. So here it is shown a voltage divider. So direct voltage is not given. It is coming through voltage divider. This is just to understand the logic. This is not an actual circuit, internal actual circuit, but this type of logic is used there. And this terminal, non-inverting terminal, is set at fixed voltage, and this voltage is used as a reference voltage. So maybe a number of Zener diodes are connected there, and when you change this voltage level, maybe this switch will switch to different Zener diodes like that. So as an example here, this 2.25 volt Zener diode is connected. So this positive terminal voltage is fixed at 2.25 volt. And if the supply voltage will be below this value, it will generate a signal, reset signal, which is given to CPU of microcontroller. So this is programmable brownout detect circuit, because we can program this value, we can set this value. So nothing more than the comparator that is only written here. The chip will remain in brownout reset until VDD rises above VDD. The main thing is configuration register. This format can be asked in exam also. Lot of registers are there in PIC microcontroller, and you have to remember the formats of these registers. So this is configuration 2. L is lower 8 bits. So that configuration 2 register is divided into two parts, L, lower 8 bits, and H, higher 8 bits. So for reset voltage, for brownout detection, this register is used. So these 2 bits are used to decide the voltage level. So if these 2 bits are 1, 1, then if supply voltage falls below 2 volt, it will reset the microcontroller. If these bits are 1, 0, then this value is 2.7 volt. For 0, 1, value is 4.2 volt. For 0, 0, value is 4.5 volt. By default, 0, 0 is stored here. So if you want program this brownout reset circuit, it will reset the microcontroller when supply voltage is below 4.5 volt. So by default, the brownout reset circuit detects this 4.5 volt. Then this BOREN bit is to enable this, whether you want to use a brownout detection circuit or not, that you can decide. So if this bit is 1, this brownout detection is enabled. And if it is 0, this brownout detection is disabled. This is used for power up timer enable bit. So this is the format of configuration 2 L register, lower 8 bit register. The next reset circuit is watchdog timer. It is also used for protection of microcontroller. And most of the microcontroller or microprocessor, watchdog timer is available. In our PC also there is watchdog timer. It keeps watch on microcontroller or microprocessor. That's why this name is given. It's in keeping watch on working or a performance of microcontroller and microprocessor. If microcontroller, due to some malfunctioning or microcontroller enters into a loop, then this watchdog timer will reset the microcontroller and protect the microcontroller. So this is a timer circuit which is designed for some time period. So predefined time period is given to this watchdog timer. It will work as a simple timer. So after each clock, the time count of this watchdog timer will be incremented by 1. And the predefined time is given, for example, suppose 1 millisecond. So it will wait for this time period, 1 millisecond. So suppose this is watchdog timer, WDT is the abbreviation generally used for watchdog timer. And this is our microcontroller. So after this 1 millisecond time period, microcontroller resets this watchdog timer. This is continuously this operation or this program is executed in the microcontroller. After each 1 millisecond time interval, this is just an example. So I have considered 1 millisecond. It depends upon the controller and programming. But we'll just assume that after 1 millisecond, this microcontroller resets watchdog timer. Or you can say that after each 1 millisecond time period, microcontroller resets watchdog timer. So if microcontroller fails to reset this watchdog timer, means maybe microcontroller has entered into infinite loop. Continuously it is executing some program. It is not coming out of that loop, or any other hardware problem or any other software problem is there, then maybe microcontroller is unable to reset this watchdog timer. So watchdog timer will wait for 1 millisecond. If microcontroller doesn't reset this watchdog timer, it will generate a reset signal and reset the microcontroller. So microcontroller will again start executing a program from first instruction. So this is how watchdog timer protects the microcontroller. So that is written here. It is an electronic or software timer that is used to detect and recover from microcontroller malfunction. During normal operation, controller regularly resets the watchdog timer to prevent it from timing out. If due to hardware fault or program error, due to any error, if microcontroller is failed to reset the watchdog timer, then that time of watchdog timer will elapse and it will generate a timeout signal, that is reset signal. So it will reset the microcontroller. The timeout signal is used to initiate corrective actions. The corrective actions typically include placing the controller in safe state and restoring normal system operation. So for microcontroller, it will reset the microcontroller. This is watchdog timer control register. Only this one bit is used to enable watchdog timer or to disable watchdog timer. The next register is configuration 2H register. Now this is higher 8-bit register of configuration 2 register. This is the byte address. No need to remember address of this register. These are reserved bit. So you can store here 0. This bit is used to enable a watchdog timer. That is hardware enable, it is called. You can use software either or hardware. So 1 means WDT enable and 0 means WDT disable. And so this is used to enable and disable watchdog timer. Both then these 3 bits are used for a watchdog timer post scale select bit. So actually RC oscillator is available internally for watchdog timer. So you cannot scale it. That frequency is fixed. But if you want to change a frequency or you want to change the time period of watchdog timer, then you can use this facility, watchdog timer post scale select bit. We'll see the diagram of this. So if these 3 bits are 111, then you can scale that frequency by 1:128. So you can divide it by 128, whatever is the frequency of watchdog timer. If it is 110, you can divide it by 64, 101 divided by 32, 100 divided by 16, 011 divided by 8, 010 divided by 4, 001 divided by 2. And 000 means as it is frequency we are using. So by default, these 3 bits are 0. So as it is that frequency we are using. This is the simple diagram which you can draw to explain the working of watchdog timer of PIC microcontroller. So here these are 2 enable bits, software enable bit and simple enable bit in the configuration register. So 2 enable bits are there. OR gate is shown here. Even if only 1 bit is enabled, the watchdog timer will work. So this is the watchdog timer block, internal block, which works on internal RC oscillator. So this watchdog timer, after that particular time period, will generate a reset signal. But this signal time period, we can divide. We can increase that time period using post scaler. So there is a post scaler block, means after generating this time period, you can scale it. So that's why it is called post scaler block. And this post scaler block we can use to divide this frequency. You can increase the time period of watchdog timer to reset the microcontroller using this post scaler bits. So 8 combinations are there. That's why here 8 is shown. So 8 different combinations are there. So 8 is shown here. So 8:1 multiplexer is used, which will select the one configuration according to this bits or of configuration register. And then after this, you will get a timeout signal.